So just going over overview of my paint ad. So for most of you who do not know me, I am a retired Marine, first sergeant from the United States Marine Corps, retired 2.5, almost 3 years now ago. In fact, 3 years ago, I was preparing for a bodybuilding competition at this time as I was getting ready to exit the Marine Corps. Um, so since then, a lot of things, a lot of changes happen when you go from military to civilian sector, and I wasn't ready to get out of the Marine Corps. I wasn't in the mindset that it was over. So I had already been starting to experience PTSD, anxiety attacks, and hadn't really been properly diagnosed for anxiety. So I really didn't even know what was happening to me. So having that plus the culture shock of moving from back from Okinawa, Japan to the United States to a city there, I had no connection with anyone other than my immediate family, my husband and my children. Didn't have in-laws, didn't have family members, nobody there that I really knew. That coupled with not really knowing what it is that I wanted to do after the Marine Corps. I knew the things I didn't want to do anymore, like getting up at 0 dark 30 and just dealing with everybody else's problems. Um, I knew all the things I didn't want to do, but I didn't know what it was that I wanted to do. And just to get a job, just to be having a job, um, I I was having a lot of hard times with even putting a simple resume together was hard for me. I was struggled because I had acquired so many accolades and accomplishments being in the Marine Corps, but those weren't transferring over to the things that I liked to do. I was great at a lot of things, but it didn't mean that I enjoyed them. I didn't necessarily love the things that I was great at. And to just say, well, I was great, but I'm not going to do those things anymore, it didn't equate to me. So I was having a hard time, even as much as writing a resume. To convey, because in a resume you're selling yourself, you're bragging about yourself, and that was another thing that went against my own internal what do you want to call it, moral compass, I guess you could say. Not saying it's a bad thing to brag about yourself, but I just wasn't in the habit of doing it. I was always raised and geared to be humble and to downplay my own accomplishments and to always emphasize everybody else's accomplishments. But at the same time, by doing that, I was getting unacknowledged. I was getting pushed to the side, and I wasn't happy. So that unhappiness then started turning into depression, and not being able to make anything of what was going on. The sense of what everything that was going on around me turned into depression. So I started looking for employment online because I needed something to be flexible. Even as much as going to a job was not healthy for me in the sense of I was having anxiety attacks, panic attacks. I was having breakdowns at work. Just a simple comment somebody would say. I remember going to my medical appointment, and the receptionist after my session, that was really a good session, she had said, well, because I was wearing pink that day, and she's like, oh, pink looks really nice on you. And I just burst out crying, because it was like, why can't the people that I want to see that? So I was having a very hard time to even as much as go to work, because people would say things that would just trigger thoughts, and I would just have these meltdowns and these breakdowns that was even more embarrassing. So I wanted to get something that was flexible, and I could work from home and work around those things, those meltdowns. um, so that's how I initially got to looking online. Um, I got to looking online and came across what I thought was going to be a good fit for me was binary options. And because I like numbers and I like statistics, and There's just something about that that just like makes me tick. The logical aspect and the analytical thinking makes me tick. So I thought that would be a good fit, and I still feel it's a good fit. But what I came across was some not so great broker companies that would what they'll do is they'll get to know you and they'll know all your troubles and your struggles and make you feel like they're on your side and they want to help you, and the only way they're going to make money is if you're making money. And so I put trust into a broker, and they would encourage me to not invest, but to deposit $5,000 at a time so I can get into these opportunities or these positions that were, in their professional guidance was and knowledge were going to be successful positions. A lot of those positions were not successful, and a lot of that has to deal with all the politics that have been going on the past 2 years. So I got myself into a lot of debt, added debt. So I'm recovering from that, but I've learned some other techniques and strategies with binary options. So I'm still working binary options and educating myself on binary options. But the problem is with binary options that I got into is they have a bonus structure where then you have to have made so many positions to a certain amount based off of whatever your bonus that they gave you. So I have money that's locked up, basically. So it's not that I've come to a total loss with binary options. It's just I've got about 20K that's locked up in to binary options brokers because I can't take any withdrawals until I've made that fulfilled my portion, my obligation to the bonuses that they gave me. So with that being said, I also came across online marketing, which deals with using rev share ad packs as a way of building up an earning through their programs. And then through the earnings, after I start accumulating $25 a day, I will start taking a withdrawal twice a week from this balance here of $25. So twice a week, instead of repurchasing, instead of continuing to grow my ad packs, I will start making a withdrawal. And from that withdrawal, I will then start using this earnings balance to support the purchase of my gold purchases. I am in Karat bars, and the military side of me is, financial readiness is always a big key. So I was already investing. So what I learned through binary options is that the exact same money that I was using to put into my IRA and my mutual funds, that same money, those companies are now taking that money and they're collectively taking a bigger pot, a bigger fund, because now everybody else is putting their money into this. And what they're doing is they are taking that money and they are doing exactly what binary options is doing. And they're making interest, or they're making earnings and profits off of our money. And yes, we get a certain percentage of the stock, but the reality is the money that we're putting into our IRAs and our mutual funds, it's not going into this nice little fund that they tell us that it's going to. It's going into this fund where they're making bigger profits, and then they'll put the little bit of interest and the return of the initial amount that they took from you. They'll put that back into your account when you're ready to withdraw, and they keep like this rolling tab of what's going on electronically, but they're continuing to make bigger and bigger profits. And the profits that you make from binary options is at a 70% vice a 5-12% that you're getting with the actual IRA or mutual funds. So when I started making one and one and all these connections, I started realizing me putting money into a mutual fund or an IRA, it's smart for situations and people that don't really care. But I have a personal feeling that if I'm working for this money and I want this money to work for me, I want a bigger return. I want the full advantage. Sorry, this is how I am. I don't want somebody else to be taking advantage of my advantage, of my hard work. So I decided that I'm going to use Karatbars as my way of investing for the long term. And then I am progressively getting better with my binary options and working on that so that I can unlock that money. And then also on top of the 20K that I already have in there, any of the other earnings and profits that I make, not earnings, any other profits that I make while I'm meeting up to my, fulfilling my obligation to the bonus, that then also adds on to the 20K. So even though that might take a little bit more longer, like maybe a year for me to get to that point of unlocking that, I'll have way more than 20K at that point. So I have money that I just can't access at this point. But with Karatbars, I look at it as Karatbars as like savings bonds. If you remember back in the day, we used to have these things called savings bonds. And in fact, I had just found a couple. I need to pull up the paperwork. But I had just found a couple of them about in December. I had found the savings bonds that my parents had been buying me when I was a teenager. When I was a teenager, they used to buy, my brother and sister and I, they used to buy us savings bonds and give them to us as gifts for Christmas. And so I found those, and I'm 44. I'll be 45 in a couple of weeks. And I found those a couple of months ago, and I decided to cash them in. And I was really surprised that the value of them is not that great. Whereas if my parents had bought gold for the same amount, the gold is like triple, quadruple the inflation has increased over time. So for me, I just see it as equivalency of doing savings bonds, but with a higher inflation return rate in the long run. So that's how I view Karatbars, and that's why I've decided to use Karatbars as part of my investment plan. So what initially happens is I'll start pulling out. So initially, right now, I'm using out-of-pocket money to purchase those Karatbars, but once I start getting to a point where I'm making earnings here, where I can then support making that purchase from the earnings from here, this earnings right here will support the purchase of those Karatbars. On top of that, I will also use my credit card to purchase those Karatbars so that I'm getting rewards points built up. I use my credit cards for payment of practically everything. So the interest that I accumulate, the rewards points that I accumulate on my credit card, I then can use that for free travel. And I just did this last January, this previous January, where I was able to take a round trip flight for using my rewards points. I was able to book a rental car for 7 days with my bonus points, and I was able to take 7 nights worth of hotel stays with my bonus points. All of that with no out-of-pocket money. It was all based off of my rewards points. And on top of that, the rewards points program where I booked all my stuff through, the prices for the flight, the rental car, and the hotel rooms was a little bit cheaper than what you would have found on just the regular websites. So I was even getting more of a discount. So that is how I am learning to acquire rewards points so I can have free travel, free car rental, free hotel. I'm using my credit card to, I'll be using the earnings here to purchase my Karatbars for my long-term savings and investing. And I also, as this will be getting to build up more, I will also be using the earnings that are coming out here to purchase traffic. And what I mean by perfect purchase traffic, ooh, I'm tongue-tied today. Purchasing traffic means being able to get your opportunity, your business, to be seen by more people. So like you're watching this video, and right now I'm using a lot of free social media, a lot of free platforms to put my information out there. So with paid traffic, it'll get it to more visibility, for more people to understand what it is I'm doing, learn how to do what I'm doing. And then I also work with a women's group I'm a women's empowerment group for the Women's Connection. I'm a women's empowerment coach for the Women's Connection, which really helps me with staying on track with just my regular life, my regular day-to-day life. But it also, we have a lot of training in there where we learn how to become more interactive with our social skills via social media platforms. So me doing this video right now is very easy for me to do now because I've had more exposure and training and understanding of how things work, and more practice with actually speaking on camera. Whereas, let's see, I started in October, November. Yeah. So that's March. That's 5 months ago. So 6 months ago, if you asked me to do a video like this, I'd be like, yeah, right. I do all these nice little graphics now on my Facebook and my Instagram, and it's not just for marketing. I do the graphics for, just entertainment purposes for my friends, marketing, not marketing, but highlighting a birthday, or, my kids might have something they accomplished that day. So just giving them a little public affection, shout outs, that type of stuff. You could do all that with social media, but if you don't understand how to use the platforms, then you're missing out, because all those little things builds relationships, and relationships makes you a stronger person. So that is pretty much it. No, I have one more thing. I'm also studying to be a dog trainer. So I do a lot. Oh yeah, and I'm writing a book. Yes, I do a lot, but I enjoy what I do. So this isn't work to me. This is just me being me. And that's what your business is. You are your business. Your lifestyle is your business. And you're going to attract other people that have the same likes and qualities. And those are the people that you're going to enjoy interacting with, because they do have those similarities. And that's what makes this enjoyable. Whereas, if you have your regular job, you go to work, and maybe you might get a group of people you like to work with, and maybe you won't. Well, this way you're a little bit more selective of who you're working with. So that's pretty much in a nutshell what I do. But, oops, it didn't understand me. I didn't want you to understand me. Okay, that was my watch. Anyways, so back to MPA. MPA is my paying ads. I have a nice little earnings here of $15.73, which makes me very happy. Means I'm making over $10 a day with my ad packs. And I don't know what's up with my computer. I can't get my, I don't even think you can see this, but I have this little notification, and it's annoying me. It says check on MPA, and I can't get it to close out. Anyways, all right, so I lost an ad pack, which is fine. So I'm up to 106 ad packs. So if I come up here to purchase ad packs, there's 3 things I try to make sure that I do every day. One, whatever earnings I can have accumulated, I will purchase my ad packs depending on what's going on. So like right here, I have 2 ads that have expired, and since I have $15, that's a perfect opportunity for me to use $10 and $5. Now, if I had 3 ad packs that were expired, I would purchase 3 $5 ad packs. The other thing I want to check is my website credits, which I'm just doing for a general purpose right now. Okay. Wait. Oh, that was buy. Sorry. My websites, not buy. Websites credits. Okay, so here's my websites. They are all running, which is good. So looking at some nice, like I'm not looking at anything like getting ready to expire like within the next hour. So this is good. These are good numbers, used credits and allowed credits. So this is good. This makes me happy. Yay! And when Mama's happy, everybody's happy, right? Sorry, I just had to get that in there. All right. So what I'll do is I will buy an ad pack, $10 ad pack here, and a $5 ad pack here. And you'll see I have 95 ad pack, $5 ad pack, so that'll put me at 96. I will have 12, go from 11 to 12 $10 ad packs. So this is growing and growing. I'm not going to do it now because it does involve clicking through some banners, which is probably going to bore you. So purchasing ad packs, number one. Number two, after I purchase these ad packs, I will apply those credits. So for the $10 one, I get 200 credits. For the $5 one, I will get 100. So I'll have a 300 credits to add to my website. So back here, when I showed you my websites, I will then add 60 to each one of these. So 73, so it'll be 35, 33, 35, 33 is what I'll add to all 5 of these. So purchasing ad packs, apply the credits, number 2, and then number 3, surfing your ads. So I do this, you will go through and you will click on 10 ads. So I try to do this once in the morning, once in the evening. This is what keeps the earnings cycling through. If you don't do this, then your earnings are going to get slower and stagnant. And when your earnings become stagnant, then your ad packs expire and your websites expire before you have earned enough to purchase another. So you don't want that to happen. So this is like, you want to keep the wheel turning by minimum. If you don't have time to purchase your ad packs, click your ad link or click your links, your ad packs. So that's what it does. Is it'll go through this timer right here, and then you'll identify and you'll click on the matching one. And I'm not going to go through, but this is what I do for 10 clicks. And that's what I do once in the morning, once in the evening, and then I purchase what I can as far as ad packs, and then I apply those credits to my websites. So click, purchase, apply. Click, purchase, apply. Click, purchase, apply. Say it. Click, purchase, apply. Click, purchase, apply. Click, purchase, apply. Okay, so that is what you do. And then again, after you start making earnings and you build up your ad packs and you start making earnings of $25 each day, not each week, each day, then twice a week you will take $25 out and begin purchasing traffic so that you can start getting your opportunity and more eyeballs onto your opportunity and people getting to know you. You are your business. Say it with me. I am my business. I am my business. What I mean by that, I am my business means people will buy from who they know, like, and trust. So if they don't know who you are, they're not going to buy from you. If they don't like who you are, they're not going to buy from you. If they don't trust who you are, they're not going to buy from you. But if you don't get your face out in front of people, they're not going to know who you are. If your message doesn't get put out, if your plan doesn't get put out, they are not going to they're not going to know if they like you or don't like you. And if you're not providing them with something that they are attracted to, if you're not providing them with authenticity and sincerity with your opportunity, they're not going to trust you. Therefore, they will not buy from you. They will not sign up with you. They will not purchase from you. They will not participate with you. So, if you want a successful business, be somebody that is true to the game. All right? Okay, so this is Christy Allen. I'm going to go and finish out my surfings. I'm going to purchase my $10 and $5 ad pack, and then I'm going to apply my credits. Click, purchase. Okay, we will see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye.